everyone. Welcome to Magic of Paws. My name is Nyssa, helping you help your pets today. And that pet that we are talking about today in particular are guinea pigs. Because I don't know if you know this, but March is National Adopt a Rescue Guinea Pig Month. So let's get started. We're going to dive in on everything that you need to know about guinea pigs, everything that you should know about guinea pigs, as well as how to take care of them and helping you decide whether they're the right pet for you. As always, feel free to leave questions down in the comments. I'm happy to answer them at any time throughout this video. So go ahead, spam me with those questions that you have. But first, let's just dive right in. So we're talking guinea pigs. Let's go over the basics of guinea pigs. Like, what are guinea pigs? Guinea pigs are a rodent that's been originally from South America. They are grow to be about a foot long and weigh about 2.5 pounds. They can also live from 5 to 8 years, which is pretty impressive for a small animal. Most small animals like mice, gerbils, hamsters, rats even only live a few years. So comparatively, guinea pigs are a pretty big time commitment. They also come in a variety of colors and breeds. So you can get some that are long-haired, some that are short-haired, some that have curly little spirals in their hair. Wide variety of options out there for you. Plus, they're super friendly, very playful, sociable, and they also make a bunch of really fun noises. So they'll chirp, they'll squeak, they'll squeal. They will also purr when they're super excited and happy. They make a wide variety of noises, which are super fun, but can also be a downside for some people. So bear that in mind when you're thinking about getting a guinea pig. So now that we've covered the basics, let's get into what you would actually need to own a guinea pig, what you would need in your home. So first, how do you set up their home? So a guinea pig needs to have a large enclosure. I would say at absolute minimum that you should have one that's about 4 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. You want to make sure that the bottom of that is solid, nothing with a wire grating, because they can get their little toes caught in that wire mesh. You also want to make sure that it is big enough for multiple guinea pigs. As I mentioned, they are social creatures, so they need to have other guinea pigs around. You also want to make sure that you have an exercise pen for them to run around in outside of their cage, their crate, their hutch, whatever you choose for them. You also want to make sure that when you do select a hutch, it should be big enough for them to have a water bowl, a water bottle, a food bowl, and a hide. You also want to make sure that you are providing them with plenty of bedding. They do like to burrow and root around in their bedding. So you want to make sure it's about 4 to 5 inches of either aspen, pine shavings, or even a recycled paper product. You also want to make sure that there's plenty of room for toys and things to chew on, because like all rodents, guinea pigs do need to chew in order to maintain their teeth. So what do guinea pigs actually eat? It's the next part. I mentioned having a food bowl. What goes in it? So 75% of their diet should be hay, such as Timothy hay or oat grass. This makes the bulk of their diet. It is the main thing that they eat. You always want to make sure that it's provided and refreshed daily. And I usually recommend having like a little hay manger for them, or which usually hang off the side of their cages. You also want to make sure that you're providing them with a high quality pelleted food that is supplemented with vitamin C, specifically stabilized vitamin C. That should be about 10% of their diet, and you want to refresh those pellets daily. On top of that, you want to be providing them with plenty of vegetables. Usually, you want to provide them with about a cup of leafy greens or Bell peppers are another great option for daily feeding. There are a bunch of other vegetables that you can feed your guinea pigs. All you have to do is search on the internet for a list of guinea pig safe veggies. But those two, leafy greens and bell peppers, should make up the bulk of that veggie diet that they have. And the reason for that is it's a main part of vitamin C supplementation, which we will get into a little bit later. On top of that, and that should be about 5% of their diet. So in addition, you can provide them with fresh fruits, usually oranges, bananas, and melons. You only want to do that about once, maybe twice a week. You can also provide them with treats such as raisins or alfalfa hay. But again, you want to make sure that it's less than 5% of their diet and you provide it only sparingly, about once a week. On top of that, obviously, you want to provide them with fresh, clean water every day. So I've mentioned vitamin C a couple of times, so why am I talking about it? Well, guinea pigs, unlike most small animals, but just like us, can't synthesize or store vitamin C. So that means they need to get it from their diet. That's why it's really important that when you are selecting a pelleted food that you are looking to make sure that it is supplemented with stabilized vitamin C. It's also incredibly important that you provide those fresh veggies and fruits in their diet on a regular basis so they can get that vitamin C from their food. So I know some of you probably are going, but what about vitamin C drops? So vitamin C drops are things that you can add to their water to provide additional vitamin C. Generally, you don't want to use those on a daily basis, on a regular basis, because it's inactivated super quickly. Vitamin C is actually very sensitive to light and to environmental degradation. So by putting it in water, it's already half as effective as it was after only a few hours. So it's not the greatest approach. It is very useful for if your guinea pig is suffering from a vitamin C deficiency. It's a good way to jack that up, supplement their diet. So signs of vitamin C deficiency in guinea pigs are things like changes to their skin and coat quality, sunken eyes, overall loss of weight and condition to their body, acting like they are sore or stiff, are other things as well that you might notice. And in general, as soon as you notice those things, you want to get them to the vet so that they can be evaluated to see if they do have a vitamin C deficiency, also known as scurvy. If you don't catch it early, often these issues that they have are permanent. So you want to make sure that you are catching it early so that they don't develop things like arthritis later on or after their vitamin C deficiency. So we've gone over everything that you need to know in general about your guinea pigs. So you should really be thinking right now whether you want a guinea pig or not. So if you are, here's a few things that you need to consider. If you're still thinking about getting a guinea pig, there are... Knew that was going to happen. I have fish at work with me today. In case you couldn't tell. You done? Wish! Come over here. Wish! Come here. You can tell we're live, for real. Somebody's here. Someone's here to pick up their dog from daycare. So that's why she's freaking out. In a super excited way. If you could see her, you would see that her tail is wagging. She just has this super scary sounding bark that does not at all match her body language. Are you done? Wish, come here. If I just had Boomer here, it'd be very different. So the reason I have just Wish here is because Boomer, my other dog, had a seizure last night. So I decided to bring Miss Obnoxious Noisy Pants to work with me so that he could get a nice restful break at home. I'm currently regretting it. Wish is a wonderful dog, but this is her main flaw, is that she's very noisy when she wants to be. All right. Nope. I thought she was done. Apparently not. Can you come here? Wish. Anyway, as I was saying, she's going to keep squeaking and barking until this dog goes home. But we were going over whether, if you are still thinking, Wish, come, sit down. Hopefully she chills. So if you are still considering getting a guinea pig after everything I've told you, there are some more questions that I'd like you to ask yourselves. So there are lots to consider, many things. So the following are a bunch of questions that you should ask yourself, as well as things to think about when you ask it. So first up is, where should you get a guinea pig? So it is National Adopt a Rescue Guinea Pig Month, so it shouldn't be a surprise that my answer to this is going to be at your local humane society or shelter. A lot of times people don't even think that you can get small animals from these places, but are honestly one of the best places to get them because they're often overlooked. Everybody thinks about the humane societies and local shelters as being a resource to get cats or dogs. Very rarely do they think about the small animals that they have, which means that they probably have more than you think. In addition, there are some smaller rescues that focus specifically on small animals and rodents, and even some that focus specifically on the species of guinea pig. So there's plenty of resources out there to adopt a rescue guinea pig, so always go that route first if at all possible. The next thing you want to think about is how much time you have. Guinea pigs are pretty time intensive. They need playtime outside of their cage, supervised, obviously, because you don't want them chewing on things that they shouldn't be chewing on. You don't want them getting into trouble. So you want to make sure that you are providing them supervised playtime outside of their cage. You also need to make sure that you're setting aside time to groom your guinea pig. So a short-haired guinea pig needs to be groomed, brushed out probably about once a week, whereas a long-haired guinea pig needs that to happen daily. You also need to keep their cage clean. Guinea pigs are pretty stinky if you don't keep on top of their cage. So I always recommend doing a spot cleaning every day where you go through and find and scoop out any obvious signs of waste that you can find. And you want to be doing a deep clean about once a week, but the very least once a month. That means dumping all of the shavings, spraying down and wiping down the actual bottom of their cage, as well as then replacing with fresh bedding and all of that. So it can be pretty time intensive. You also have to think about, is a guinea pig right for your family? If you are getting a guinea pig for your kid as their first pet, you want to make sure that you are setting them up for success. Does your child have time to take care of a guinea pig? We just talked, they're a pretty big time commitment. So if they have a bunch of after-school activities or weekend and evening commitments, a guinea pig might not be the best option. So you want to be honest with yourself there. You also have to think about whether you're willing to pick up the slack if your kids do drop the ball. And then also, if you have other pets in your family, are you going to have the time to dedicate to just your guinea pig? So if you have young children, there's more to consider. Guinea pigs are easily startled by loud sounds or sudden movements. So you want to make sure that if there's a lot of that going on in your home, that you probably shouldn't have a guinea pig, or at the very least, you should have a quiet room for them to be in where they aren't going to be experiencing those loud noises. The other thing to consider is that they need to be handled gently. If they're not held properly, they can get injured. And if they're pet too hard, they might lash out and bite you, which for an adult or an older child, we can logically understand why. If you're dealing with a smaller child, they might not react in the best way possible if they are bitten by a guinea pig, because those teeth can hurt and they can do damage. So you want to make sure that you are keeping all of that in mind if you do have younger children in your home. You also have to think about your budget. While the initial adoption fee for a guinea pig is on the low end, definitely when compared to cats and dogs, you do have a large initial startup cost. I mean, you have to get them housing and bedding and an exercise pen and toys, food, bowls, water bottles, and fresh fruits and veggies. So it gets pretty expensive pretty quick. So you're looking at spending a few $100s just to get started. Plus, you have to buy those pellets and those fresh fruits and veggies on a regular basis, as well as prepare yourself for some regular veterinary care. And even worse, emergency veterinary care. Guinea pigs can get sick. They can have issues. So you want to make sure that you have money set aside for those vet visits, especially considering not a lot of vets are comfortable taking on small animal clients. So you want to make sure that you're reaching out to the vet that you currently use to see if it's even something they would be willing to work with. Some vets just aren't comfortable with it, and that's okay. Every vet has their limitations, but it's important to know those when you are starting to think about getting a new pet. You also have to consider whether you're willing to add a second guinea pig. As I mentioned way at the top, guinea pigs are social creatures. They like being with others of their kind. So if you are getting one guinea pig, you may notice that it is sad, depressed, not as energetic as it would be if you had friends for it. One important thing to remember, though, is that if you're getting a group of guinea pigs, they should all be males or all be females. If not, you're going to end up with a bunch of baby guinea pigs, and that's just a lot of trouble. You also want to find out whether you are allergic to guinea pigs or not. It's one of the main reasons that they are surrendered to rescues is because people find out that they are allergic. The other main reason would be that they are a longer term time commitment, and as compared to compared to like a hamster or a gerbil. So people are sometimes, when they are going through a life change, will end up having to surrender their guinea pig because they didn't think it through in their 5 or 10-year plan. So allergies for guinea pigs are super easy to find out. If you are thinking about rescuing a guinea pig, just go in and hold it for a while. If you are allergic, trust me, you will know, because I am allergic to guinea pigs. I had guinea pigs growing up as a kid, but then when I started working at a pet store, I found out that I was having trouble breathing. I was getting covered in all these little red dots that were super itchy, and it just was all in all not the greatest experience. So even now, when I am taking care of animals in people's homes, and if I know that they have a guinea pig, I will make sure that I take that extra dose of allergy medication, just because I don't want to have to deal with the sniffing and the sneezing and itchy that comes from handling guinea pigs. And I want to make sure that they are getting the best possible care, that I am touching them, that I am brushing them, that they are getting out and able to romp about a bit, are all super important to me. And having an allergy makes that a little bit more complicated. So unless you are willing to commit to taking a daily allergy pill to make your life a little bit more bearable, please do not get a guinea pig if you are allergic to them. So that's it. That's pretty much everything for guinea pigs that I had for today. Sorry that you had to put up with the interruption from Miss Wishkins. But as always, I just wanted you to know that there are many ways to reach out to us if you have any questions. If you are watching this on replay and you had a bunch of questions while watching this, go ahead and put them in the comments. We'll be able to answer them even though it won't be live. You can also go to magicofpaws.com to find out about the services that we offer for guinea pigs. You can email us at info@magicofpaws or email me directly at nyssa@magicofpaws if you have any questions about your guinea pig. If you want to set up a time to chat about a guinea pig, there's the link to my calendar. You can also head over to our Helping You Help Your Pets Facebook group, where we do go live on a regular basis just to answer questions. We do provide additional resources in that group for you as well. Now, taking a step away from the guinea pigs to talk about the business in general, we do have some exciting things happening this week. So this Saturday, we are running another class of our High School for Dogs. It's at 10 a.m. So come on down if you have a new dog to you, or if you just haven't done any much training recently with your dog. We're also having a Dogs Behaving Badly seminar that is this coming Saturday at 11 a.m. It is a one-off class. It's just 75 minutes long, $30, and we are focusing mainly on getting control of your out-of-control dog. We're talking about counter surfing, door dashing, barking, jumping on strangers, stealing food, everything that you can think of that's really annoying that your dog does. We are dealing with that specifically just in this one-off seminar about impulse control. So if you have any questions about any of that, you know where to find us, magicofpaws.com. And until I see you next time, give your pets some love from me, and I will see you later. Bye, everyone.